Say, oh.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, an urgent warning to Bahamians from a U.S.-based attorney on the rise of human trafficking. Plus, an attorney is voicing objections on the dissemination of information by police. And two tertiary institutions battling head-to-head in the Road to 50 Great Debate. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news tonight, an urgent warning to Bahamians regarding the rising issue of human trafficking coming from a U.S.-based attorney who is alerting Bahamians to be vigilant and avoid falling victim to this disturbing practice. Our Simone Davis has tonight's top story.
Human trafficking has become a major concern for the American government, and now Bahamians are being cautioned about the dangers associated with seeking residential documentation through unauthorized means. Attorney Donette Russell Love, based in the United States, has shed light on the alarming trend of individuals from the Bahamas being deceived and misled into entering the United States with false promises of assistance in obtaining legal documentation.
I've been working with a lot of Bahamians that are here now that were told, if you come here, we can get you straight, we can get you a job, we can get you working, and we'll get your paperwork. That's not the way that works. And so a lot of people are here now they've overstayed and they're scared. That's trafficking.
Attorney Love emphasizing the grave consequences and risks faced by those who are lured into such schemes. The lack of legal documentation puts individuals at a significant disadvantage, leaving them vulnerable to exploitation and potential legal consequences.
They're taking the money directly out of your check with no say, and they're taking this money out for an attorney that you can never talk to. You can never see any papers at a file. And then the time that you're given, either they're telling you, well, you're going to need to go and come back. That means you're not legal. They're not working on a legal status. If you're traveling back and forth, then that means they're not doing what they're telling you. It's getting harder and harder. Don't get lured in and lose your travel privileges.
While it is crucial for Bahamians to be aware of the risk associated with unauthorized assistance, Attorney Love shares her advice on how Bahamians can avoid falling victim.
My advice to someone, if they're coming for a trip, take your trip, comply with the terms. It doesn't matter if you overstay by 1 day, 2 days. If you do, you're going to have a consequence for it. You're going to lose your visa. If someone's telling you to come over, we can get you a job, we can get you straight, decline the offer, and because they can get you straight while you're there. And then when you come in, you have your paperwork in your hand.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
In other news, officers at the Criminal Investigation Department are busy searching for a 40-year-old Monelle Marie Martin of 8 Mile Rock. Police want to question her in connection with stealing. Martin is a brown complexion without any other description. Anyone spotting her are asked to contact CID at 502-9991, 502-9992, the National Crime Prevention Office at 302-8430 or 1, Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, 8477, or the Family Islands at 242-300-8476. Meantime, a noted attorney is voicing objections regarding the dissemination of wanted posters by police regarding ongoing investigations. He says this practice can have detrimental effects on the reputation of the accused and potentially cause more harm than good.
I subscribe to the philosophy and the tenet that you are innocent until proven guilty.
And that is the reason attorney-at-law Carlson Sherlin KC asserts that law enforcement agencies should exercise greater consideration when disseminating information about individuals who are wanted.
And of course, we live in a very unforgiving society, and social media convicts persons without due process.
He highlights occurrences when posters are publicized for individuals who were ultimately found not guilty, and asserts that long-lasting damage is inflicted upon innocent individuals whose reputations suffer as a result of these premature public announcements.
And then they quietly let you go. They don't rehabilitate that negative connotation. And I'm sick and tired of telling the police, before you start going out there and running your mouth, you ought to get your facts straight.
Sherlin believes that the police have a duty to uphold, but maintaining the delicate balance between public awareness and safeguarding the rights of the accused is crucial.
Locking someone up does not make them guilty. Right. Charging them does not make them guilty. Right. Parading them in front of the court does not make them guilty. Having a trial don't make them guilty. What makes them guilty is when the jury says you're guilty.
Now, we reached out to police officials, however, our calls were not returned up to news time. Switching gears now, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's Job Ready program is continuing to steer youth on the path to success. Nearly 30 young people are recipients of certificates and some permanent job placements after successfully completing weeks of job training. Raven Davis was at the closeout ceremony and has more in this report.
An additional 26 young persons are equipped with the training and soft skills essential to job placement after conquering 10 weeks of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture's Job Ready program. The graduates being celebrated by program coordinators and partners during a special closeout ceremony at Pelican Bay. In her address, Leslie Dorset Lewis expounds on the theme, preparation is key to success, encouraging the graduates to push the envelope in pursuit of their dreams.
But my words of advice would be, don't stop here. Continue to research employment opportunities in your fields of interest. Continue to take advantage of educational opportunities. Become active in your community. Build relationships and networks with persons in your fields of interest.
Certificates of completion as well as a Bahamas host certification becoming the fruits of the graduates' labor after completing what is deemed a kickstart on their careers.
For people who feel lost in life and don't know where to go, especially for young people, this really builds up the courage to find your way in life. And I encourage everybody to try it out, like step out and do something different.
This program, we learned a lot. We had new experiences. We learned what we expect from the actual workplace.
It was wonderful. It was a great experience. I love the fact that I was able to meet other youth in my whole criterion area, and I was able to work along with them. It was a great cooperative experience.
Program coordinator Carla Brown Walker says the program involved 5 weeks of soft skills sessions and an additional 5 weeks of internship at the workplace.
The effectiveness of a program like this is beyond measure. As you would have heard inside, many of our Job Ready participants have already secured employment, and they've made a lasting impression on their employers, and that is what the program is all about. It's about equipping them with employable skills.
She congratulates the participants as some of them have already secured permanent jobs and invited the others on a journey to automatic placement in the ministry's summer program. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Raven Davis.
Well, plans are underway for Labor Day celebrations on Grand Bahama as the island is expected to come alive next week Friday for the annual Labor Day Parade under the theme Workers United in Love. This year's festivities hold an even greater significance with the celebration of the country's 50th independence anniversary. President of the Bahamas Educators and Allied Workers Union, Sandra Major, explains the crucial role of unions to the Bahamian workforce.
It's because of unions that we've had increase in salaries. It's because of unions that we have made all these advances in our country. So today and on Friday, the 2nd, we say, come, get your banner, get your flag, wave it high. Let them know that you're a Bahamian, you're proud to be Bahamian, and you're proud to have freedom in this country.
We've struggled through 50 years, but we've had some good times. And when we come together, we want to celebrate workers and where we have come from.
Members from various unions also emphasizing the importance of all Bahamians participating in this event.
You're not only doing this because it is something to just come out and have fun, but you're coming out because you want the government of the Bahamas to know that we are a united force, and it doesn't matter whatever plans they may have. We have a greater plan for you. That is to work for you. That is to make sure your rights are not enfranchised on.
It is important that since a day like this was selected for the workers of the country, that Bahamians come out and support this venture.
We have to get serious about it. If we don't get serious about it, they're not going to take us serious.
In other news, special guest speakers will be on hand, making it possible to establish meaningful connections and glean useful information in advancing the kingdom. Activities continue for the 50th anniversary of independence here in the country. This time, the Great Debate semifinals between two tertiary level institutions. Our Aja Quant was at the debate and filed this report.
The journey to the country's 50th independence celebrations continue as Tarif College and the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute battle head-to-head here at the Great Debate under the theme, Be It Resolved, that the Bahamas is not an independent nation. First out the gate with the proposition view is Tarif College.
If we are such an independent or truly an independent nation, then tell me, why do we need a king?
Then it was BTVI with the opposition.
Adopting the Westminster model of government does not disqualify the Bahamas or any other Commonwealth nation from being a truly independent nation.
Co-chair of the 50th anniversary celebrations, Leslie Dorset Lewis, says they organized this activity specifically to include all demographics in the celebration.
We figured that a debate will be something that will get them to research and get them to think about our country and where we are.
Terrence Archer, founder of Tarif College, confidently claiming first place while acknowledging this historic event, noting that they have been waiting on an event as such for tertiary level institutions.
When this opportunity came for us to showcase our students, we embraced it, and here we are today.
And which side of the fence you guys on tonight?
As far as winning, that's the only side we're going to come to take it.
BTVI's coach Evelyn Pinder-Dame says their team experienced great challenges but remains hopeful.
One of our members got ill at the last minute, and so we had to replace, but they're vibrant and they have a lot of energy, and so they're giving it their best.
And Tarif College was the winners of this semifinals competition and will face the University of the Bahamas North next month in the final Great Debate. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Aja Quant.
The University of the Bahamas getting ready to start a new program. The details of that story and more straight ahead when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns.
Make way for new inventory. Dolly Madison Home Center
is slashing prices on all
Whirlpool and GE refrigerators.
Dolly's got the perfect
Whirlpool and GE refrigerators, discounted to suit your needs.
And culture, wicked straight choke canoe, fishing and sailing, just to name a few, free from bondage. That was our heritage. Our nation isn't perfect, there is more work to be done. Forward, upward, and onward towards the rising sun. Yes, we should be proud. It's time to say it loud. Oh, drop your flag, wave it from side to side. Our gold and black represents your pride. Lift your head and say, I'm a proud Bahamian.
Yeah, let me get 15 dozen donuts.
and 82 two-piece chicken. Yeah, I gained free pork.
Migo, you know what I can't stand with you, Migo? Everywhere we go, you just tell people, I gained grandmama. I gained free pork. I get weight. People want me to come over there to wait. I gained best of the best. Like, I don't want to go best of the best, Migo. You think I don't like Veronica Bishop, Migo? You think I don't like D-Mock, Migo? You think I don't like Gino D, Migo? I used to wear Gino D's. This school, Migo. You think I don't want to see Gino D perform while I wearing my Gino D's, Migo? Papa Smythe, Migo, you used to cheating dog. Papa Smythe, even Papa Smythe know I am a Bohemian. You can ask them. You going, though. Migo, you used to cheat You dog. going, but still running on like you ain't going. I didn't tell you ain't going. I didn't know it. I didn't know it's coming. What is your problem? Oh my goodness, man. I didn't know it's coming.
Yo, hey yo, we come a long way and we just begun. Come on, lift up the heads to the rising sun and just sing it out loud. I am up in the air, sing it out loud. I am up in the air.
Chances we're the one you can trust. Oh yeah. Better than the rest. We already passed the test. Cause chances we're the one you can trust. We make sure when you win, we pay you right away. No piece of money and no need to come back another day. Make sure when you win, you get all your money one time. That's how we do it. You leave with every dime. Chances is the one you can trust.
Chances reminds you to game responsibly.
Don't miss the 20% Whit Monday sale at Park & Shop. 20% off sale this May 25th, 26th, and 27th, excluding underwear.
Hey man, Rock, Georgetown Fish Fry, the Warriors coming. The music jumps are here.
We coming. Don't stop. We coming for you. Don't stop up. Ain't no time to stop up.
Meet David Ferguson.
So Battle of Marines was complimentary because several things. It was formative in that it allowed me to think critically as to how I study best. This is supposed to be an intellectual experience that you enjoy. Yes, it's a competition, but when you look back at it, you don't want to be so focused on the competitive aspect of this that you miss the intellectual engagement, stimulation, and development that you can gain from this. This should give you a skill or help you learn more about yourself so that you take that with you as you progress in your career and start your university studies.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. In an effort to support economic growth through the promotion and support of sustainable entrepreneurial innovation, the University of the Bahamas Northern Campus is just about ready to start a new program. Jay Philippe reports.
The University of the Bahamas Northern Campus is officially launching its UB Ignite Innovation and Entrepreneurship Program on Grand Bahama. Last year, UB received a grant of $500,000 from Inter-American Development Bank, while the university matched that amount to jumpstart the program. According to Dr. Ian Strawn, Executive Vice President of University of the Bahamas and Campus President of UB North, UB Ignite is designed to support national development and economic growth for Grand Bahamians.
Our purpose is to support entrepreneurship and to encourage innovation. And so we have a 3-year project, and our intention is to incubate persons who want to enter into business, help those who are already into business migrate their business to online and e-commerce, and to also just encourage that spirit of innovation and to help create an ecosystem.
The program will be free of charge for residents of Grand Bahama and Abaco. Associate Professor and Faculty Coordinator of UB Ignite, Dr. Juliana Topazi, says the program will have an everlasting impact for those that sign up.
It's been a lot of planning behind the scenes, as I'm sure you can imagine, and it really helps the entrepreneurs who want to start their own business or have already business to excel in the global society, providing the skills, mentoring support, and be able to connect them with all the resources and activities to support them to grow.
Chief Investment Officer at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Derek Newbold, adds that the port supports this initiative as it is aligned with similar programs that the port has introduced.
We always had a focus on tech and innovation because we feel that innovation is the way of the future. So we have actually done a number of needs analysis looking at the gaps in our systems to see how we could address those issues, particularly in high schools. So that's why we launched a program called SEED. You know, it's STEM Education and Empowerment Initiative. And we decided that we should support UB in this initiative because it just bodes well for Freeport, it bodes well for Grand Bahama, and by extension, the Bahamas.
UB Ignite is expected to support some 650 entrepreneurs with the program. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Well, in a recent interview with ZNS News, a woman who made a personal commitment to remain chaste until marriage has come forward to inspire others to live a holy life. Shanika Kemp, minister at Freedom International Ministries, is hosting a conference titled Purity, the Lifestyle of a Believer on Saturday, May 26th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on the church's grounds.
That's what the conference is about. We're going to be focused on every aspect of purity, purity of mind, purity of speech, even our words, purity of body. And also we're going to focus on even the gift of virginity as well. So all of that is going to be incorporated under the theme of purity. Being as in a lifestyle of the believer, we're the people that set the pace for those who don't know God. So it starts with us as a believer and as a church. So if we could get that within us as a church first, then it could go towards people out there in the world.
The conference will feature a diverse group of dynamic speakers who will cover various topics related to purity. It is open to both single individuals and those who are currently dating, aiming to provide guidance and support in maintaining a lifestyle of purity.
This message is needed, especially in the church right now, in the body of Christ. This is a time where God is calling us to a new level as believers, a new level of authority as believers, a new level of spirituality, because if our spirits are contaminated, it's hard to even really have that relationship with God the way that we ought to. So as long as our hearts are pure, our minds are pure, and He wants us to live that lifestyle of purity, because it's all about Him at the end of the day.
Well, a fun-filled day for kids and adults will be held this Saturday by Living Waters Assembly. The day will include a number of activities and free food. Our intern Wes Calix has the details of this fun day.
Free food, games, free kids clothing, and a health checkup. That is what is expected at the upcoming Family Fun Day, which will be for both kids and parents. Pastor Margot Victor, the director for Primary School Bible Club, shares that this year's goal is to embrace the entire family.
We're coming together to give kids fun activities, but we'll also have seminars that's going to be informative and uplifting for parents.
The seminar for those parents will include topics of marriage, parenting, money, backyard farming, and much more.
We'll have rooms, prayer rooms for families who need prayers or counseling. So we're encouraging the community to come out.
Principal of Walter Parker Primary, Ramel Devane, also in agreement with Pastor Victor that this Family Life Affair Fun Day will restore hope and the love of God back into the community.
Well, I personally believe it'll bring families together. We do have a lot of times where children are not spending enough time with mom and dad, and so this itself will bring them all together where they can spend some time, about 3-4 hours together, and do fun things together, so they can have memories to share later on.
And according to both organizers, this Family Fun Day is a chance to leave the distraction of everyday life behind, and they invite everyone on Grand Bahama to partake. For the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition, I'm intern Wes Collins.
Thanks, Rex. It's now time for your check on sports with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports Web Scores from the Paul Dingus Thompson Day 1 Softball Invitational. Also, basketball is back in West Grand Bahama, but let's begin with a little bit of tennis. Beginning this Saturday, May 27, Elite Tennis Club will host its match play series at 9 a.m. at the Freeport Resort Tennis Courts.
It's an opportunity for budding tennis players to come out and get some competition, get some match play, and to continue playing. It's an opportunity for them. Competition drives every sport, and so it's an opportunity for them to come out, play, and keep playing. It's 14 of Grand Bahama's top tennis players. They'll come out, play a round-robin format. Everyone plays everyone, and you keep playing, win or lose. The objective is to get as many matches as possible under your belt.
Switching gears now from the tennis courts to the basketball court, the West Grand Bahama Summer Basketball League is back.
So far, we have all settlements that are committed to having teams. We're going to run the league under 13, under 15, under 19, and open men. We are expecting some teams from uptowns to show up also again. This is very important to the Aid community because every settlement, like I said, has a team, and the community benefit, and the community really comes out and cheer on their team and their settlement. So having it on the park in the community of Pinedale is very special to the association so that we can have clean action, clean fun with a family atmosphere, playing some good fashion basketball.
And finally in sports, the Paul Thompson Men and Co-ed Slow Pitch Invitational Tournament being played at the Sports Complex. Results: Pat Uniform Reds defeated Chad Investment 15-1 in co-ed play. Chad Investment Golden Knights came back to defeat Marco City 8-0 in all-men play. Bahamas Immigration won against the Police Force 4-3 in co-ed action. And Pat's Uniform defeated Express Food Mart 4-1 in all-men's play. And that's your quick check on sports, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed and have a great weekend.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery, fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
We all need to save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop, the new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry.
It's Worship in Paradise, bringing experiences from around the world to the Grand Lucayan Hotel on Grand Bahama, the Bahamas. It's the Barry B. Morris International Music and Fine Arts Conference, Praising 250, featuring Pastor Benita Jones from Atlanta, Georgia, Pastor Emmanuel De Jesus, New Jersey, Pastor Timothy Johnson, Nassau, Bahamas, Minister Valerie Tuttle, Kentucky, Pastor Barry B. Morris, and many others. Come out and be transformed at this 3-day cultural and worship conference with performances by worship teams from Canada, the United Kingdom, Eastern Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago, Spanish and Creole worship team, the Tabernacle Concert Choir, the Bahamas Public Officers Choir, the Fabulous Cooling Water, Pastor Simeon Out, and the Bahama Brass Band. Registration is $120. The cultural concert is $20. It's the Barry B. Morris International Music and Fine Arts Conference, June 2nd through 4th, at 7:30 p.m. at the Grand Lucayan Hotel in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Bahamas. Come out and claim your blessing.
May 28th. It's a West End move.
Got a West End move.
Get ready, it's the road to 50. It's the best of the best concert featuring KB. Chinozi. T-Mac.
I nearly married the garden.
Elon Moxley. Veronica Fisher. Michi Ellis. Lil Joe Cartwright. Puzzle.
Come on, get it.
Papa Smurf. Melody.
Watch me how I dance and hold my face.
Yes. Come go with me. Be my name. Wilfred Sullivan. Uptown beats from Bahama Pop Band. And it goes down Sunday, May 28th from 5 p.m. till at the Independence Field West End. Admission is $10. Sorry, no kid. It's the best of the best concert.
Sunland, Tabernacle, Bishop Michael Eldon, St. George's, 8 Mile Rock, and Jack Hayward all participated in this year's relaunch of the Battle of the Brains. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Our Facebook friend of the day is Brandy Stewart, who celebrates her birthday today. Thanks so much for your continued support, and please enjoy your birthday, Brandy Scabella Jones. We also say a happy special birthday to you and Bree Roll. We heard of your breakfast give back this morning to your primary school, and we hope you enjoyed your birthday. And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. On behalf of the entire news team here in the North, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Have a great weekend. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Get ready for the biggest all-Bahamian concert of the year. It's the 87th anniversary of radio, and Zedness is partnering with Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group to bring you a free all-star Bahamian concert on Friday, May 26th, on the grounds of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Featuring Chino G,
Watch out for them fakey friends.
Melody,
Take my own to the pinnacle.
The Falcons,
Sweet silent light.
Veronica Bishop,
Oh, I love my husband.
Mama D,
Mama D.
Abby, D-Mac.
Don't you know that while you out looking for sugar, someone got to taste your honey.
And a whole lot more. It's all hosted by your favorite Zedness radio and television personalities. Food and drinks will be on sale. Come hang out with your favorite stars. It's the 87th anniversary of radio. Zedness and the Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group all-star Bahamian concert on the grounds of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Parkwood Rusty Bethel Drive, 8 p.m. to midnight. Happy hour starts at 5 p.m. Let's keep the vibe alive.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, smooth sailing as Newport opens. Hope fades for missing American teen, the PHA gifted, and in sports, sails up in Exuma. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is linked up by BTC. Whether it's chatting, gaming, content creating, or working smart to get things done, link up to stay connected with BTC.
A new $300 million, 11-acre Nassau cruise port officially opened. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mukush Lapinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. After 3 years, the city of Nassau's redevelopment takes shape with a new port featuring new amenities as it welcomes tens of thousands of visitors daily. Our Jimenita Swain is there.
Good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. We're coming to you live from the $300 million downtown Nassau cruise port, which has been reimagined and transformed into something dynamic. We're just a few moments away from the official opening. So far, we have a number of guests already arriving, and officials have literally rolled out the red carpet. But joining me now to talk about what's going to happen during tonight's official opening ceremonies is, of course, the CEO, Mr. Mike Mora Jr. Good evening, Mike. And how are you feeling now? I imagine you've been working, you've been planning to get to this point, and now we're finally here to this new, beautiful port.
No, it's unreal. You know, I feel like I'm at a Hollywood premiere, you know, just with all the pageantry, the music and everything. Everyone's so excited. We have an exciting program for this evening. Obviously, we've got the formal elements of it. We have our Prime Minister speaking, our Deputy Prime Minister speaking, our Minister of Transport speaking. I'm going to offer remarks. The Chairman of GPH will offer remarks. We have 5 cruise line executives that are coming on stage to share their congratulations for this undertaking. And we are, you know, earlier today, I was having a conversation with Royal Caribbean, and they were talking about how Nassau Cruise Port has become the envy of the Caribbean.
So obviously, we talked recently when we did the tour here of the facilities prior to this moment. We talked about the fact that, you know, prior to now, there was this kind of feeling that things were not the best here. And obviously, you did a whole lot to change the perception of guests. And now even visitors, locals are able to come out to this facility. What are you hoping that people take away from tonight and also moving forward about this reimagined facility that is now a reality?
Well, having invested $300 million, and as you used the word reimagined, our waterfront, our downtown waterfront, this must serve as a catalyst for other parts of the waterfront, east of East Street, which we talk about too many times, even properties on Bay Street. I think, you know, I hope, have provided confidence to other investors to go ahead and invest in our tourism sector, which is downtown. And the fact is, the responses that we're getting from these cruise passengers, you know, given the fact they've only had the opportunity over a couple of days to be able to enter the space, has been phenomenal. You know, whereas before you'd see a wave of people going back to the ship at about lunchtime or shortly after lunchtime, we see a wave of people coming from the ship at lunchtime, on top of the wave we had earlier in the day. So we're excited, our tenants are excited, the music that we're going to be doing this evening is just a small piece of what's to come every day here at Nassau Cruise Port.
There you have it. Obviously, the port can accommodate more than 20,000 visitors. On one day alone, it had more than 28,000 passengers. A number of guests invited tonight, around 450, Makushla, but who knows, that number can grow. Like we told you earlier, we're just a few minutes out from the opening. So I'm going to throw it back to you. In studio, I'm Jiminita Swain reporting to you live from the downtown Nassau Cruise Port. Back to you.
Well, Jiminita Swain, they're only providing snippets of what to expect from the Nassau Cruise Port, but it certainly looks spectacular. Meantime, 2 nonprofit organizations team up to help out the Public Hospitals Authority. Today, disaster relief organization 25 United out of Florida donated $5 million worth of medical supplies and equipment. The Fox Foundation instrumental in assisting 25 United in getting the goods to the Bahamas. The grand gesture made on the grounds of PHA's warehouse on Nassau Street. 25 United's founder and Chief of Staff, Stephen Leedon, along with Adrian Fox of Fox Foundation, say they're committed to assisting wherever necessary. Accepting the gifts, the PHA's Deputy Managing Director, Dr. Kiva Thompson.
We are committed to our excellence, to helping you all. You are our neighbors, and we will continue to do so.
The Fox Foundation is also open to working with more foundations that want to help the Bahamas or help one another. And we look forward for more business from you.
These equipment and supplies provided today represent hope and healing for our patients accessing the community clinics and our public hospitals. With their donation today, 25 United helps to strengthen our capacity to deliver quality care to patients and communities that we serve.
Present for the donation, Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis called on more corporate organisations to assist.
And it's indeed a privilege for me to be able to stand here and say thank you. It's been, one of the things that we have to appreciate as a people. Right? Together we get more done through collaboration and ensuring that we use what our talents and resources are to help others. Let this be an example of what is required of us. We are here to be our brother's keepers. We are here to help one another.
In other news this evening, the parents of missing American teen Cameron Robbins are here in the capital, where we're told they have been updated by the police about search efforts for their son. In a brief statement this afternoon, Cameron's parents noted that he's a strong kid, and so they remain full of hope that he will be back with them soon. The statement adding that Cameron dearly loves his friends and family, and he would be proud and amazed to see the outpour of support received. In the meantime, they say, we will keep our focus on working to find him. The parents end by appealing for continued prayers. Robbins was reported missing after jumping on a dare from a pleasure vessel, reportedly. The 18-year-old was here with friends celebrating his recent graduation. An intense search began in the Athol and Paradise Island areas. To date, there's been no sign of him. We can tell you that the Defense Forces search ended at 6 o'clock this evening. Meantime, the search continues for 20-year-old Kyle Carey, who went missing over a week ago from the Coral Harbor community. Carey was last seen on May 12th near a neighborhood convenience store wearing a blue T-shirt, black short pants and slippers. His family, friends and loved ones have combed the area searching for clues. Defense Force officers and police detectives assisted in the search. Carey's father, Keith, remains hopeful.
I've gotten some calls from CDU, also from the Defense Force, which was a tremendous, help for me as far as them, communicating and working together. And I thought that was awesome. Just coping, just trying to be positive. A lot of prayers, from family and friends. I depend a lot on prayers. But we've been getting a tremendous amount of calls, from the public at large, but some of them lead to nothing. But, we can't overlook any situation, any call, any information. We have to follow through on it.
An innocent woman shot following an early morning bar brawl. As the story goes, two women were at a bar on Minnie Street after 1 this morning when they got into an altercation. Following that standoff, one of the women went into a silver Japanese vehicle, got a gun and opened fire in the direction of the establishment. A third woman, an employee not involved in the incident, was shot in both legs. The victim was taken to the Princess Margaret Hospital. Her injuries are not life-threatening. According to police, she's in stable condition. Now, anyone with information that can help police solve this matter is urged to call the Criminal Investigations Department at 502-9991, 2 or 3, or Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. Well, ZNS Radio is today celebrating its 87th anniversary, and in grand style. At this hour, an all-Bahamian concert about to kick off, but the fun began hours ago right here on Rusty Bethel Drive compound. Our Vaughn Albury is outside our studios with a preview of the celebrations. Vaughn?
Thank you, Makushla. We're outside where the party's really started. We're outside Rusty Bethel Drive, headquarters of ZNS Radio and Television, but we're celebrating Radio Bahamas' 87th anniversary. With me, Gigi from our Northern Service Desk here in Grand Bahama. What's it like to be in the capital?
Oh man, just excitement everywhere right now. I can't wait for the concert to begin. It is just gleaming with people and children, and it's a fun time waiting to be had.
Who are you waiting to see?
Oh man, don't make me pick, but I like some Avi. I like some Sammy Star, and I love some D-Mac.
There you go. Well, we got so many artists tonight. The show begins at 8 o'clock. And for those of you in the family of islands, we want you to tune in to ZNS Radio and 810 in Grand Bahama, as well as 1540 AM and on ZNS TV, because the concert starts at 8 o'clock. There are a number of top Bahamian entertainers. I see my classmate from the government high school, Funky D. Funky D's a year older than me, but he's still going. But I just want you to take a shot around who's here today. I can tell you this is a party time with me. Miss Brenda, why are you here to celebrate?
Why am I here? This is just a good time to be alive in the Bahamas. You know, this is 87 years of tradition right up here on Rusty Metal corner, my brother. Yeah. And why would you miss it? You know, we are in 50 years, and you guys are celebrating 87. We are blessed. We are blessed. We are blessed. Let me tell you something. You know, you all are on the precipice. You're the foundation of journalism in the Bahamas. You're right here. And those who on the way, get here. It's safe. Plenty parking. Police on the outside. Entertainment's done at 8 o'clock. And we have a whole Bahamian show going on right up here on top of the hill.
Thank you very much, Brandon, folks. Well, Gigi, the show is about to start, but the party has long started.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you ain't here yet, what you waiting for, come on down. ZNS, we got it going on right here.
The party has started, so we want you to make your way here at Rusty Bethel Drive because the party continues. Back to you in the studio, Makushla.
Well, as you heard, there's still time to get here. On a more somber note, ZNS News learning that Special Advisor to the 50th Independence celebrations, George Smith, died this afternoon at his home. The Exuma native embarked on his political career in 1968 when he was ratified by the Progressive Liberal Party to represent the Rollville constituency, a parliamentary seat he secured for 29 years. He was parliamentary secretary to Prime Minister Lyndon Pinley and a delegate to the London Conference on Independence in December 1972. Smith coordinated the 1973 independence preparations as chairman of the Secretariat. He served in Sir Lyndon's cabinet for 11 years and as chairman of the Bahamas Telecommunications and Hotel Corporations. In appointing Smith to the post last year, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis boasted that his vast experience made him suited to advise on such matters, since the nationwide events surrounding the period must focus on the struggles and achievements of the Bahamian people, past and present, and celebrate them. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
We are a leading Bahamian bank, one of the largest publicly traded companies on BISX. Our measure of strength is our growth and performance, with over $1.7 billion in assets. We remain committed to serving the interests of our shareholders, staff, clients, and communities. The confidence to lead, the performance to remain. We are Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
From the experts that created the Kentucky Chicken Sandwich comes the Crispy Barbecue Sandwich. Bacon, cheddar cheese, crispy onions, and the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor. KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Of the Bahamas. Fly away.
Spring is here and Easter is right around the corner. Thinking about moving forward with your personal goals that require money? Fidelity Bank can get you approved in no time without the red tape and the runaround. Fidelity offers competitive interest rates and minimal fees. The loan that you need and can afford is just a phone call away.
In just 50 days, we'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary of independence. And on Sunday, March 21st, an ecumenical service at Evangelistic Temple set the stage for this momentous occasion. Leaders from all Christian denominations gathered to pray for our nation, highlighting the unity of our faith community. The service witnessed the participation of Governor General, the Honorable Cornelius Smith, Prime Minister, Right Honorable Philip Davis, and Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Michael Pintard, emphasizing the significance of our Christian heritage and values. The Bahamas Brass Band and Bahamian gospel singers filled the air with praise through music, while heartfelt prayers were offered for our families, the future of our beloved country, and our youth. This solemn moment allowed reflection on our journey of the past 50 years and inspired hope for a prosperous future. Ultimately, this prayer service was a reminder of our connection to a great God and a more hopeful and prosperous future. You're watching the Independence Beat. Stay tuned for more.
This segment of the news is brought to you by RBC. Discover mortgage ideas shaped around you. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/home story to start your story today.
Haiti's vicious cycle of toil and trouble prompting CARICOM to appoint what's called an Eminent Persons Group, or EPG. Counted among the three-member body, former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, the other members, former Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Honorable Bruce Golding, and former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Dr. the Honorable Kenny D. Anthony. A CARICOM statement notes that the group will initiate and oversee the community's provision of good offices support in designated priority areas, and that includes security, governance, the electoral process, and long-term development planning and advocacy. They are also expected to liaise with key international partners and agencies. A technical team of experts from CARICOM member states, the CARICOM Secretariat, and regional specialized agencies will support the group. Now, amid continued violence between gangs, international reports indicate that Haiti faces a hunger crisis as its children suffer acute malnutrition. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder recently chastised multilateral institutions like the United Nations and developed countries for abandoning their obligation to bring stability to Haiti, leaving small island developing states with limited capacity and their own domestic challenges to marshal the situation. Well, the Ministry of Economic Affairs has launched the first national trade policy following years of consultation. Minister of Economic Affairs, Senator the Honorable Michael Alkita, says the idea is to tap into unexplored areas for the international trade of goods and services, calling it a monumental occasion. He says it cannot be overstated how important a comprehensive and cohesive trade policy is to the country's national development.
This policy is a key component of a wider development strategy to diversify the economy, empower Bahamian businesses domestically and internationally, and lower the trade deficit. Key areas that are being targeted by the government, such as niche agricultural and fisheries products, uniquely Bahamian craft, food and goods, and other green, blue, and orange economy products and services will all benefit from this policy.
Minister Alkita says the Bahamas must ensure Bahamians can tap into global markets without unnecessarily long processes and high expenses. Instead, he says policies should make them feel they have a chance to reach an international base.
Instead of jumping through hoops, they should feel like the government is giving them a boost. And that is what we hope to achieve through this policy. People often say that government should make policies that empower businesses and then get out of the way so that the private sector innovation can do what it does best. Private sector innovates. While this is well and good, I think a better alternative is for the government to empower businesses and then continue to work hand in hand with them to ensure that policies remain effective and relevant.
The 2023-2024 budget now in its final draft, and the Davis administration is hoping the country is pleased with what comes out of it. Altavis Munnings tells us more.
The central bank's economic development report for the month of March shows the domestic economy is projected to sustain its healthy growth momentum for the remainder of the year, and that's attributed to ongoing gains in the tourism sector. However, central bank officials acknowledge the pace of economic recovery is expected to moderate as indicators return to pre-pandemic levels. This aligns with government's forecast that the economy's future is very bright.
We expect, growth, it was estimated for 2023 by the IMF of about 8%, and next year about 4%, which, even though it's a fall off from this year, which is still significantly higher than what we have been experiencing in years even prior to COVID. But our job is to defy those predictions and, achieve growth in the solid 5 to 6% range going forward, which will really help us in our budgeting and getting our finances back to the position that it was pre-COVID.
Central bank officials maintain the estimated budgetary gap will require domestic and external borrowings, with an increasing proportion of the total funding sustainable from domestic sources. And since the economy is progressing well, Economic Affairs Minister, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis feels government has to use this opportunity to keep the country's finances in order.
You have to make sure that you get yourself back in a position so that in the event of another catastrophic hurricane or, Lord forbid, some other pandemic, God forbid, that the government will have the financial wherewithal to respond. And so, yes, the economy is recovering, but we're not out of the woods yet. We have to remain disciplined and cautious, and so that's our job. But we're on track, and we just want to make sure that this budget positions us to continue that recovery.
And just as a reminder, the 2023-2024 budget communication will be delivered by Minister of Finance, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, on Wednesday, May 31st at 10 a.m. in the House of Assembly. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altavis Munnings.
In order to remain a competitive financial services jurisdiction, the Exempted Limited Partnership and the International Business Companies Amendment Bills were recently tabled in the House of Assembly. Jomo Campbell spoke on the bills.
Critiques by the industry of the current regime are that it does not work adequately in aiding in the recovery of insolvent individuals and enterprises, and that it is weak in its protection of shareholders and creditors when insolvent companies are liquidated. Some have also argued that the bankruptcy regime needs more flexibility to effectively and proactively allow debtors to repay their creditors under court supervision.
In other news, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies awarded the contract to complete construction of that West Bay Street building east of Goodman's Bay. That work has been subcontracted to Tony Lewis of EGL Development Company. The building to be used by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as a protocol house.
I'm very grateful and thankful for the opportunity to be assigned the protocol house. Of course, I haven't seen all the details to speak more generally to it. However, I know it's going to be a project of some sophisticated looks and presentation. So therefore, I'm very up to the task.
The Life at Key Foundation and the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board signing a memorandum of understanding, paving the way for 2 new scholarship opportunities for students interested in tourism leadership. The scholarships are valued up to $25,000 per year. Executive Committee member of the Life at Key Foundation, Judith Whitehead KC, says some internships will also be offered in order to create clear paths to students returning home.
Through tourism, many Bahamians have achieved significant mobility in their careers. Many have spent time abroad, worked in global properties, and come back home to ascend the management positions. However, we know that many more need these opportunities, which we hope will be achieved by helping tourism scholars attain higher education in competitive, globally recognized tourism programs at the undergraduate or graduate levels.
Chief Executive Officer of the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board, Joy Jibrilu, said the initiative comes on the heels of months of networking and negotiation with stakeholders within the tourism industry.
The original mandate of the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board included support for training initiatives, and we consider this initiative to be a timely homage to that mandate. Our partners, the Cable Beach Resort Association and the Paradise Island Tourism Development Association, also believe in the value of this initiative and have therefore pledged funds to support it as well. Taken together, we have committed to provide a total of $250,000 over the next 5 years toward educating the next generation of Bahamian tourism management professionals. That is $50,000 per annum.
The National Report returns in a moment. Stay with us.
This segment of the news brought to you by the 50th on Bay Street Festival, Monday, May 29th, a presentation of the 50th Independent Secretariat.
Resort Foundation is committed to giving back and inspiring younger Bahamians to pursue a more positive and active way of life. The Bahama Resort Foundation recently resurfaced the Yellow Elder tennis courts and plans on renovating more tennis courts in the future.
Ladies and gentlemen and young Bahamians, we are thrilled to be cutting a ribbon today for this resurfacing of the Tom the Bird Grant tennis facility. It's an exciting moment, and I can tell you that it's been a vision for me and for the Baha Mar Foundation to be able to put rackets in kids' hands and create a purpose for the future for them to grow as an individual. I think tennis is one of the best ways you can grow, and that is to be challenged mentally on the court.
The Bahama Resort Foundation is dedicated to fostering all community efforts and uniting the Bahamian public.
And this is just a way for us to continue to give back to the community, make an impact to what the Bahamas has given to us, which is the opportunity to have Baha Mar here in the Bahamas and create an incredible opportunity for all of us to grow together.
For more tourism updates, visit tourismtoday.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers. It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever Sand Dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Nearly 600 students making up the University of the Bahamas' 2023 graduation class. The spring commencement exercise taking place at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium Thursday, with hundreds of well-wishers all in place to celebrate the milestone. Jiminita Swain tells us more.
Success is not something that you have or something you gain. It's something that is attracted by who you become. You and your achievements are nothing more than the sum total of who you've become.
A thought Lars Mintz shared with some 583 students during the University of the Bahamas' commencement exercise on Thursday. Mintz, the Chief Human Resource Officer of Mercedes-Benz North America, but also a Bahamian, one of the many who celebrated the end of this chapter of the students' academic journey. The key takeaway he impressed on the group.
Slice 1 is performance, which is the P. Slice 2 is image or I, and slice 3 is exposure or E, P-I and E. The pi represents a total of 100%. If you took each of the 3 letters and gave them a percentage, it would look like this. 10% is performance. You're expected to perform at a high level. That's what they will pay you for. You will receive no bonus percentages. 30% is image. Your reputation, your character. They speak so loudly, even when you talk, they cannot hear what you say. Now, if you're doing the math, the 2 of those combined are equal to 40%, which means that exposure, the E, is 60%. What you learn, who you have access to, what you experience are much more significant than performance and image combined. Don't miss anything.
And while UB's president, Dr. Eric Rowland, reflected on the strides students made to overcome, the Board of Trustees Chair, Allison Maynard Gibson Casey, reminded them of this.
We are very proud of you. And the powerful energy in this stadium conveys the message that we celebrate each and every one of you. This is one of the happiest days in your lives. And in the 50th anniversary of our nation's independence, it's a happy day for the Bahamas also. In pressing through unpredictable and unprecedented adversities, an horrific hurricane and a pandemic, you survived and thrived. You represent the indomitable Bahamian spirit.
President's Award winner Alexandra St. Albord says she, like many others, took some time to find her passion.
In the fall semester of 2018, I finally came to the realization that psychology is where I was meant to be. I now stand before you and say that I am eager to help and contribute to the discipline of psychology in the Bahamas.
Officials expect to hold baccalaureate, awards, and a commencement exercise over at its northern campus next week. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jiminita Swain.
Well, everyone has a story, and Edison Sumner and Voices of Praise story is no less moving. What started as a youth ministry has 30 years later morphed into an award-winning ensemble. And come this Sunday, the local music community and churches will come together to celebrate their success and milestone with a concert. As for the secret to the group's longevity, here's what producer Kevin Harris shared.
Well, I think, first of all, you have to have a great leader. And I think Edison provides that great leadership. Someone not only who's humble, but talented, someone who knows how to work with people. And that's one of the great secrets of VOP's success. Second of all, he's managed to put together a team of very talented musicians and vocalists who work well together. And so they've really worked as a family unit for all of these years. And he's not really experienced the kind of change of personnel that you will see in other groups.
Artist and fellow public relations coordinator Travis Edgecombe joined VOP in 2014. He says Sunday's concert will feature a few throwbacks as well as new music to be released as part of the group's 30th celebrations. Bringing all the talent together, Colin Christopher, Davian Chase, Alia Coley, Trinity City of Praise team and others. No easy feat.
It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of planning, it takes a lot of creativity as to what it is that you would want to portray the night of the concert. But also, over the years, we were able to build relationships with these artists. So as soon as we were able to ask them if they would be available, it was an automatic yes. So that made the load a little bit easier for us to plan and execute what needed to be done for Sunday coming.
Again, the free concert takes place this Sunday at Bahamas Faith Ministries. And as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us, there's more after the break.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up. Stand up for your right.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
This is the super versatile Ring Stick-Up Cam. It goes indoors, outdoors, outdoors in the rain. It's got two-way talk. Hey, Eddie. Works with Alexa. Comes in tons of power options and works with Ring Alarm to start recording automatically if something's going on.
Seriously?
Seriously. So start protecting your home with the easy installing indoor-outdoor Stick-Up Cam by Ring.
If you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
Have you been denied a U.S. visa and don't understand why? Have you been turned away from the U.S. border without an explanation? Maybe you've had a prior arrest or conviction and you're not clear on how to move forward at this point. Call our office. We may be able to help. 954-449-1833.
Deplorable is how many family islanders describe commercial banking services outside the capital. Some major financial institutions have a significant presence throughout the islands, while others don't, making it hard for many residents. Adding his concerns, Member of Parliament for Centerville and Minister of State for Legal Affairs, the Honourable Jomo Campbell, summed it up as shamefully inadequate.
On one island, on government payday, Madam Speaker, Bahamians go to the ATM very early in the morning and must toe a line because they are afraid that the ATM will not be operational later on in the day. On Long Island, I have heard of residents advising one another of the functionality or lack thereof of the ATM service. I've heard stories, Madam Speaker, of Bahamians booking airline tickets just to come to Nassau to withdraw funds off their bank account because their local ATM was down for days.
Campbell calling it egregious. Some commercial banks have pushed for greater use of digital banking channels like automatic teller machines when the services aren't consistently available in the Family Islands.
I publicly call on commercial banks, especially foreign-owned commercial banks, to treat our Bahamian people better, especially those in communities where there is no physical bank present. I also call on them to lower the costs associated with merchant transactions on islands where there is no bank, as an incentive to encourage greater use of electronic point-of-sales exchanges and to make it easier for businesses to conduct transactions and make a little profit.
It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. Partly cloudy skies this evening. We hope it stays that way. 76 degrees is the current temperature. Relative humidity somewhat on the rich side at 84%. We have south-southwest winds at 5 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,009.2 millibars. That's 29.80 inches, and your pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 74 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Green Toll Key, Marsh, Abaco, very warm at 82 degrees. Berry Islands, 81. Allenstown, Bimini, 77. 82 degrees in Harbor Island. Rock Sandy, Lutra, 83. Black Point, Exuma, and Camp Space on Andros at 86 degrees. Fresh Creek Central Andros, 85, 83 degrees in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 84. 84 is also in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands. Matthewtown, Inagua, 86, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 85 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center in the Northwestern Islands tonight through tomorrow. Those winds will remain out of the south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave height continuing at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will occur at 7:40 this evening, another low tide at 8:34 tomorrow morning. Now for the central and southeastern islands through Saturday, a southeasterly flow at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave height 2 to 4 feet. On Sunday, however, we expect those winds to fall off light and variable in the northwestern parts of the country. Very flat sea conditions at 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. The low tide on Sunday, that will occur at 9:22 in the morning, with the high tide at 3:36 in the afternoon. In the central and southeastern islands, no change there. That persistent southeasterly flow at 10 to 15 knots, and the wave height is 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. International temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
On May 1st, 2012, Rubis acquired the Chevron fuel business in the Bahamas, which traded under the Texaco brand. We are now celebrating our 10th anniversary of the Rubis brand in the Bahamas. Rubis has become the fuel brand of choice. However, our 10-year journey was not without challenges. We would like to recognize our dedicated members of staff and thank our customers for their continued support. We look forward to another 10-year milestone as we continue our journey.
Mario thought he could have his cake and eat it too. He almost found out the hard way that if you don't insure your home for the full replacement value, when it comes time to make a claim, you won't get the full payout. It's called the condition of average. If your $200,000 home is destroyed by a hurricane, but you only insured it for $100,000, half the value, you'll only get half of that $100,000 payout. Actually, less than that. Because there's also a deductible, which will be deducted from your payout. Check your home insurance policy for the condition of average clause and ask your insurance agent or broker how condition of average would affect you. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, protecting the interests of policyholders.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
In just 50 days, we'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary of independence. And on Sunday, March 21st, an ecumenical service at Evangelistic Temple set the stage for this momentous occasion. Leaders from all Christian denominations gathered to pray for our nation, highlighting the unity of our faith community. The service witnessed the participation of Governor General, the Honorable Cornelius Smith, Prime Minister, Right Honorable Philip Davis, and Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Michael Pintard, emphasizing the significance of our Christian heritage and values. The Bahamas Brass Band and Bahamian gospel singers filled the air with praise through music, while heartfelt prayers were offered for our families, the future of our beloved country, and our youth. This solemn moment allowed reflection on our journey of the past 50 years and inspired hope for a prosperous future. Ultimately, this prayer service was a reminder of our connection to a great God and a more hopeful and prosperous future. You're watching the Independence Beat. Stay tuned for more.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Well, welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check on a Friday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. It is regatta time again, and that means a number of regattas set to take place over the next few days. Barry Tarry Exuma, no exception, as they were scheduled to kick off sailing today. Charles Fisher was there. He has the details.
Good evening, Marcellus. Yes, I know you're getting ready for that big concert in the backyard by ZNS later, but I am where I want to be this weekend. The City by the Sea, and if you haven't ever heard about it, it is Barry Tarry Exuma. They were scheduled to sail earlier today, but a light rain, that hampered things, but they are going to sail tomorrow. Now we're joined by the Commodore, Horace McKenzie. Horace, we didn't get started today. What's the schedule for the next 3 days?
Well, it was unfortunate that we couldn't sail today, right, Fisher? But tomorrow we can put on 2 races. And then on Monday we put on another 2 races. And then we're just going to go from there. But the crews, everybody here, they were prepared to sail today. So it's pretty much the wind was a factor. And pretty much that's how it is.
11 big boats, C-Class, all competing for that grand prize.
Well, we have some boats out of Black Point, which is real good for us. We had the Chaser, then we have Slaughter, along with the perennial boats from Barry Tarry on the main line. So we're looking forward to a good race tomorrow for the rest of our race.
As my cameraman Stefano was panning out in the background, you can see it's a big concert here this evening as well. Everybody knows her as Fluff and Fluff. One thing I can say about Barry Tarry over the next few days, it is a lot of culture, down-home culture.
Yes, for sure. It's our 38th anniversary this year for the Barry Tarry Homecoming and Regatta. And our theme is it's Bahamian culture. So it's all about the culture. This weekend, you're going to see the Maypole Platin. You're going to have our quadrille dancers. We have our BT dancers, our BT fire dancers. We're going to do some straw plaiting. We're going to do some straw tripping. And it's all about Bahamian thing. We also have a Junkanoo fashion showcase along with a Junkanoo rush out. And with those two programs with the Junkanoo, it's all about the 50th anniversary. We will be doing the black, the gold, and the aquamarine in those models. So all you will see is just the Bahamian flag, and it's all about the culture, downtown, Barataria, city by the sea.
You forgot to mention the pineapple eating contest and the conch salad making.
Oh, yes, we're going to have our pineapple eating contest. We're also going to have the watermelon eating contest. We're going to have onion peeling contest. We're going to have a cook-off where we're going to see who can cook the best peas and rice. Also, we're going to do our cane peeling. We have a lot of stuff going on. We have our hoop contest. We have skipping rope. We have a crocus sack. We also have the musical chairs for kids and adults. So once you come to Barataria this weekend, you wouldn't be non-entertained. You will be entertained for the entire weekend.
And the band in the background is getting ready to entertain folks later on this evening. Once again, Marcellus, I know you're getting to put on your slow shine shoes to dance later on, and I'm getting ready to enjoy City by the Sea, Barataria, Exuma.
Thanks, Fisher. Well, yesterday we told you about the Bahamas Basketball Federation announcing its newly appointed selection committee for national teams. The group will be responsible for the selection of national team coaches as they prepare to represent the country at various international tournaments. On hand was men's national team coach Moses Johnson, who talked about what's ahead for Team Bahamas.
The Bahamas is in a prime position to qualify for the Paris Olympics, which is an awesome feat. We've never been to this point before, having achieved the second round in the World Cup qualifiers. We're now qualified for the pre-Olympic qualifiers, which takes place August 12th through 20th in Argentina. And so the team is being formulated now. The coaches have started to meet, and we're trying to put together the best team possible.
Johnson adding that he has every confidence that the Bahamas will put forward its strongest team ever in order to make an Olympic qualifying push.
We've had good conversation over the past few weeks with the NBA guys, and things look really good. We have one or two curveballs that we look to throw in. We want to save that for later, but we're coming back to you with some good news. I think this will be one of the strongest teams that we've ever put together, Bahamas basketball jersey.
Meanwhile, with the Bahamas Games fast approaching, the focus on preparations for the various disciplines is underway. Boxing will be one of those many sports contested, and boxing coach Ron Rogers talking about how the teams are being put together to compete.
We got calls from a couple islands, so fighters wanted to actually come here and train with us in order to compete in the Bahama Games. But right now, we have pretty much the largest group of fighters here at Strikers Boxing Club and here in Nassau. So I think we're probably going to have to do a draft system, to be honest. But the Bahama Games should go off without a hitch. It should be very good.
There it is, a check on sports for you. Don't go anywhere. We got weather just ahead.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Every day in May includes great specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets, including Cardinal Evaporated Milk, 14 ounce, $1.19. Sawyer's Mayonnaise, 30 ounce, $6.99. Coca-Cola Sodas, 6-pack, 12 ounce, $3.59. Sweet Strawberries, 1 pound, $5.99. Boneless Chicken Breast, $2.99 per pound. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Our road to 50 Bahamas promotion by using any service at Lighthouse Point, and you could win 5 free nights. And this summer, when you book 3 nights starting on a Friday or Saturday, we'll throw in Sunday for free. Yes, enjoy a fabulous Sunday on the beach with your 3-day Friday or Saturday booking at Lighthouse Point. Call 242-373-1333 for reservations today. Lighthouse Point.
Bahamas, get ready for the biggest all-Bahamian concert of the year. It's
the 87th anniversary of radio, and Zedness is partnering with Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group to bring you a free All-Star Bohemian concert on Friday, May 26th, on the grounds of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Featuring Gino G,
Watch out for them fakey friends.
Melody,
Take my own to the finish line.
The Falcons,
Silent light.
The Commission,
Oh, I love my husband.
Mama D, Abby, D-Mac.
Don't you know that while you out looking for sugar, someone got to taste your honey?
And a whole lot more. It's all hosted by your favorite Zedness radio and television personalities. Food and drinks will be on sale. Come hang out with your favorite stars. It's the 87th anniversary of radio. Zedness and the Keep the Vibe Alive Music Group All-Star Bohemian Concert on the grounds of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. Harcourt Rusty Bethel Drive, 8 p.m. to midnight. Happy hour starts at 5 p.m. Let's keep the vibe alive.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we have this area of low pressure spinning across the northwest Bahamas, and that has a trailing trough that's wrapping around the southeast Bahamas, but this whole system is moving towards the northeast and east, so we can anticipate some pockets of showers tonight. Hopefully, we should be okay here in the capital, but there is a little cell well to the south and west of us as that wraps towards the northeast. Could bring perhaps a brief passing shower later on tonight, but for the most part, I think we should be pretty much okay. Tonight, partly cloudy conditions with a shower or thunderstorm developing late, as we said already, with a low temperature of 75 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny condition, an isolated thunderstorm still in spots tomorrow, particularly in the afternoon hours, with your high temperature getting up to 86 degrees. Extended weather forecast, those little isolated showers will continue right into Monday. Frontal system goes through on Monday, and then we will see drier conditions as we head into the middle part of the week. But those temperatures, despite the fact that that front is going through, those daytime temperatures will remain in the upper 80s, with your nighttime temperatures in the mid-70s. Makishla.
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
Get ready for the biggest all-Bohemian concert of the year. It's the 87th anniversary